Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw tips and tricks. We're going to convert a JPEG clip art logo into something that you could engrave. First of all, this stands for Texas A&M down in Texas, and it would be illegal to use this logo. I've actually checked into it. With any major college, you'd have to get permission and pay a lot of money and then royalties. And I've actually checked into it quite a bit, and you can actually use it for yourself and your personal use. You can make something hang on your wall, but you cannot give it away or sell it. So anyway, so we've got a JPEG logo, and you can see down here it says JPEG. We're going to go up to bitmap, convert it to bitmap. We want it to be black and white. You can already see the jagged edges. We're going to go up to bitmap, outline trace, clip art, because that seems to work the best for me. And in previous videos, you've got two copies now. You've got your trace copy that looks better already than your other copy. But you can still see these jagged edges. Now we're going to ungroup it. And we're also going to left click your mouse. And then right click your mouse on red. I've got mine set on hairline. And if you've been doing Corel long enough, you kind of see some things. Like I can see that that's a double line. And you can barely tell that this line is a little bit richer than that line. So let's just take that line away. That's a little richer. Let's take it away. And I think that's maybe this A. But after a while, you'll start seeing things like that. Hit your Z key to get your zoom tool. Now, each one of these is kind of a separate entity. Like I clicked on it and I don't have the A. But you've got all these nodes that you're going to have to get rid of most of them. Before I would get rid of them, you've got them selected. Go up to your shape tool. Make sure they're all selected. Right click your mouse and put them to a line. Now each one of those nodes is a line. Hit the Z key. Get this this first bar. We don't need any of these nodes. So you could go through and hit delete, delete, delete. Or you can just grab them all and hit delete. Now this line here in particular is not a line. See, if you see those movable arrows, then you know it's not a line. There's something going on here funny. Okay, change this one to a line and then they both change. So you go through here and just change all these, take out the middle ones that you don't need. Now, when you take out some, like that needs to be back to a line. When you take out some of these, it's going to distort it's going to distort it. So you can see that's not a line, it's a curve. And I'm not going to go through the painstaking of taking every one of these out. But let's say you take out this. Now you've distorted this a little bit. And you take out this one. And now this line, so go up here to your indexing tool and bring it down. Put on any of those nodes, hit your Z key, zoom in. Now, I've got my nudge factor set on 0.001, and I'll show you why. So we're going to straighten up this line right here. So I can bring it up with the mouse, or we need to delete this one, or you've got 001, so every keystroke of your up and down arrow keys will put it right in the middle of that line. Delete that, and you can see this is kind of at a funny angle, so just go through and change all those. So it really helps to turn them into lines first. There we got a double node, so reduce it. And you would go through and then after you, and then you hit your space bar and get your pick tool ungroup them all, hit your Z key and get your zoom tool. And you can see on the A, we haven't converted it to lines yet. Go up to your shape tool, select them all, convert to lines. It just makes it so much easier. Now, particular here, this isn't really on the corner, so you kind of want to move it to the corner, then delete that one, delete that one, delete that one. This isn't equal, move it out, delete that one. So same again, use your indexing lines. That's not bad. Hit your space bar and get your pick tool back. Then another trick, you can also hit your space bar again and get your shape tool back. So your space bar will actually toggle between the last two tools you used. Let's say we get the pick tool, we hit the Z key. Now space bar we got pick, space bar we got zoom. So it toggles between the last two. So when you go through here and straighten all these up and use your indexing lines, and see here's a double line. So just take one of them away. Well, took too much away. And what might happen here sometimes, you might have a curve. There we go. So if you ever grab two objects, you've got a curve and you might want to break the curve apart. So here I'm going to bring in my logo that I did earlier against the other logo, and you can see how sharp and crisp and the lines are. Now, one thing you want to always check before you engrave this on somebody's item is you want to make sure, and I've showed this in another video, let's get rid of these indexing lines. You want to make sure that those white spaces are not white. You want to make sure there's no fill in there. I mean, you could go through, and let's just do one. Let's make a duplicate of that. Put it over here. Arrange, ungroup them all. Got that one item, and we're going to put white in there. Okay? Now they look the same. But let's see what happens. This is why you want to do this test. Move it over to a yellow box you made, and you can see that you're not seeing through that because the white's there. The laser is going to engrave a little bit of white there. So you've got a finished product with shellac or a lacquer on it. It's going to engrave that away. I do most of mine on raw wood, and that light little engraving would sand off, so it's not that big a deal. But when you're working with somebody's jewelry box or whatever, so we look at my logo, and wherever it's yellow, there's nothing there. There's no fill whatsoever. I hope that helped. Thank you for watching.